The repossession process allows you to work through the activities necessary to repossess a vehicle. To begin the process, start in the Receivables Activity Center, open the Repossession menu, and click on Repossession Processing. Locate your customer's account using their name, contract number, or other search criteria listed. The system will enter the account and you will see the repossession screen. Here, if you require a cure letter, enter the date the cure letter was sent. If repo disposition rights have been waived, check this box and enter the date that they were waived. Otherwise, add out for repo or add OFR. Determine whether or not the repossession is going to be voluntary or involuntary. If it's involuntary, then also check whether or not it's a skip account. Skip account meaning you've exhausted all your resources and still haven't been able to find the customer. The system is automatically going to tag the account for repossession and lock payments. So someone with the correct user rights would have to unlock the account before payments could be made. You are required to enter at least one reason for repossession. So we have a pretty long list you can choose from. So select the reason that you're repossessing the vehicle. If there's a second reason, like maybe they're voluntarily repossessing and the reason is they cannot pay, but they cannot pay because they have astronomical medical bills right now. So you could select both of those, enter voluntary as the reason, and click Save. Or, just for our purposes today, we can just put that it's going to be involuntary. They refuse to pay. And we'll leave the second one blank. The system is going to ask you to confirm that you are flagging the account for repo and locking payments. And then it's going to ask you to select a repo agent. You can build a list of repossession agents in System Utilities and in your lookup maintenance area. Once you put in all your repo agents, then you can just come in and select the one you'd like to use in this case. The system is going to ask you if you want to print an authorization letter for your repo agent. If you do, click yes, otherwise click no. And the screen will populate with the repossession information at this time. Here you can see that now you have an out for repo tag on the account. Your repossession detail is listed, as is the repo agent you assigned. You can at this point edit customer information. You can view repossession history, print another authorization letter, add another agent, or remove an agent. You could also edit your out for repo information. So if you needed to change it from a voluntary to an involuntary or vice versa, you can do that. And if your account becomes a skip, then you could add a check for that box. And if you need to, at this point, if the customer came in and made payments, then you could remove the out for repo and it would close the repossession, remove the tag from the account, and reinstate the customer in good standing once they made their payments with you. From here, once the vehicle has been recovered, you'll go to the Recover tab, click Set Repossession Status. Your repo agent is going to auto-populate, but if you need to change the agent that picked up the vehicle, you can do so. You'll enter the recovery date and time, and then you're going to add the recovery location. If the vehicle was recovered at the customer's address, co-buyers, or any of the references addresses, then you can import that address. If the vehicle is not at your lot, then you can enter the vehicle location or select a location from your list. You might just have your different lot codes added, as locations. And once you do that, you'll enter the mileage at the time of recovery and select the condition of the vehicle. If you found personal property in the vehicle, you'll need to check yes. If not, check no, or if you don't know yet, then select unknown. But if you did recover personal property, enter the date that it was found, who discovered it or cleaned out the vehicle, and enter a list of what was found. Once you've done all that, click Save, and the system is going to populate that information. Here, you're going to enter a date. Since you've recovered the vehicle, you're going to enter a date that it'll be ready for sale. So usually people give between 10 and 20 days to get the vehicle cleaned up and ready to sell again. So we can go ahead and enter that information. And if you're using a particular sales agent or taking the vehicle to sell at a specific auction house, you can enter that information as well. Then here in the personal property information area, you'll want to enter when you notified the customer of the personal property, put in the claim period, and then once they've claimed the property, you'll want to check that box, enter the date they claimed the property, and who actually picked it up. So if it wasn't the customer, then who picked up the personal property. And you can put a name and then whoever they tell you they are. And then the next option you have, let's say you picked up this vehicle, it was recovered, you're getting it ready to sell, and the customer comes in and wants to get it back. In that situation, you would click the redeem button. The system is going to ask you if you're sure you want to redeem, and if you do, then you'll check the yes option. The system will tag the account so that it's no longer out for repo, but there will be an alert stating that it was redeemed, and it will be removed from the out for repo status. In our instance, I'm going to click no so we can continue to work through this repossession process. The next tab is your Accelerate tab. This tab is going to allow you to call the note due. So you're going to review the loan information. You can see their total past due balance at this point, the balance that we're going to accelerate, and you can look at the invoices and any adjustments that have been made for those invoices, and then click the Accelerate button. You also have the opportunity to print the acceleration status. But we're going to click the Accelerate button. We're going to get a confirmation that the contract has been accelerated. Click OK, and now you can see that the total balance that's due now is $33.99.82. Now, if the customer came in to redeem the vehicle, they would need to pay the past due amount plus any repo fees you deem necessary for them to pay. And then the balance after redemption would be the $3,075.82. So that's where your customer would pick it back up with their loan payments. We do have a letters and history tab in the repo process. This is going to show you all your collections notes that are in the system, and it's also going to show you the repossession history. You can double click if you want to see information about anything in the repossession history, and if you refresh notes, it will show you any of the current collections notes. These are all going to be notes coming from Collector Pro. So if you're a Collector Pro user, your notes will be carried over from Collector Pro into the repossession processing activity. The next tab is your vehicle disposition tab, and this is where you're going to restock the vehicle. So if you're selling this vehicle on your lot, you would come to the vehicle disposition tab, click restock the vehicle. It's going to ask you if you're returning it to inventory. Then you can click yes. And it's going to ask you if restocking the vehicle is satisfying the remaining debt. So you can click yes or no. If you click no, you're going to enter in the new car cost. So enter that in. And it's going to show you the stock number that's going to be saved or assigned after it's saved, the mileage, and you can put actual, if it's in excess, if it's exempt from mileage disclosure, then you can enter that information. Registration information, the license plate number, information like that. It's going to restock this inventory with a repo status so that people will know this was a repoed vehicle. You can enter a different location. If this is going to be sold at another lot, you could select the new lot that you're assigning it to. You can also identify this with a certain investor or an investor batch. And once you have this information entered, click Save. It's going to show you the stock number. It's just a stock number with an R at the end so that you can identify that as a repossession. You're welcome to use this stock number, or if you'd like to add a stock number of your choice or follow in line with your current method for inventory, you can do that at this point. The system is going to enter the information and it's going to complete the transaction. So now you've restocked this vehicle and it becomes part of your inventory again. The next tab is your repo charges and proceeds tab. Here is where you're going to add your repo fees and things like that. If there were storage fees or anything that you're incurring a fee for, then you'll enter that here. So the repossession fee, it was involuntary. Let's see, it was $250. Select the category, recovery charge, enter the vendor, and the type. Click Save. The system's going to finish its transaction, and you will see that fee appear on your screen. If you need to add another charge, you can do so. If you need to reduce the unpaid repo charges, you can do that as well. So that, let's say you negotiated with the repo agent because the customer's girlfriend called and told you exactly where the vehicle was, so the repo agent didn't have to do anything but pick it up. So it's not really involuntary repo work. Then you could come in here and edit the amount and save that, and it will now change that amount for you in the system. So now you can see the amount due is $200. Additionally, if you need to add any proceeds, you can do that in this screen as well. So proceeds meaning if the vehicle was a total loss and you received an insurance settlement, or if there was a warranty and you received a warranty rebate, you can come in and add those proceeds at this point. You just input the amount, select the category, if it was an insurance settlement, rebate, and then put the vendor, who made the payment. So if it was an insurance company, enter the insurance company name and the payment type, check, cashier's check, and so on. And click Save for that. And then your proceeds would be added as well. Now we returned this vehicle to inventory. So we have a repo proceed already at $5,000. We can reverse the selected proceeds if we need to by clicking Reverse Selected Proceeds and then confirming by clicking Yes. It's going to remove the account from the accounts that it was linked to, and now you have no proceeds linked to the account. You'll notice here also that it took that out of your inventory. So let me just add that back since I was just showing an example. And we will click Save. There's the new inventory stock number. The system is going to finish its transaction. And we will have added that back to our inventory. So now you can see my proceed is back. The next tab is your Apply Proceeds tab. So I have this $2,500 and it's listed here. Now I can apply the proceeds to this account. And I can do this in a number of ways. I can either apply it to the general balance. I could apply part of it to the balance and part of it to principal, interest. Or if I wanted, I could even apply it to the repo fees and take care of that. So I'm going to apply some to the repo fees, and then you can see my unapplied amount now has dropped. So let me apply $300 to interest, and then, let me apply the interest amount, and the rest we'll put to the general balance. Click Apply, and your proceeds then will be applied to the balance of the loan. And you can see here, there's your proceeds records. The next tab and the last tab is your Finalize tab. This tab is going to allow you to finalize the repo and write off this account. So you're going to put the write-off date. It's going to default to today, but it can be changed. The code for write-off. So here my code is, it was repossessed and there is a balance that's due. So we're going to go through the deficiency balance process using this. We're going to try to collect that deficiency. If there's an unpaid balance but it's reported as a loss, if it's paid in full, if it was paid in full and was repossessed. So enter the code for write-off. And you do have to put a reason for write-off. Once you do that, you can see the total write-off balance here. If you're changing the interest rate from the current rate to a new rate for post-charge-off, you can change that and select the balance that you're writing off and click Finalize Repossession. You're going to get a confirmation box asking if you're sure you want to write off this contract and the balances, click yes. And then the system is going to let you know that the vehicle has been written off. You can see that it's been placed in bad debt, and there is an alert status at the top of the screen now letting you know that this is a write-off. Now, if for some reason you got through that entire process and you realized that you needed to unwind the write-off, you can simply work from right to left through the tabs and unwind the entire repossession if you need to. So you'd click reverse write-off at the bottom of the screen. It's going to ask if you're sure you want to reverse the write-off, then click yes. The system is going to unwind the write-off transaction. Next, you will come to the Apply Proceeds page. Click Unwind Distributions. Check the distributions you want to unwind and click Reverse. And the system is going to go through its transactions to unwind those and remove them from the accounts they were listed as part of. Bear with me. Then it's going to let you know that these proceeds have been unwound. Click OK. Now you can see I have an applied proceeds again of $2,500 here at the top of the screen. I'm going to go to my Charges and Proceeds tab. I'm going to click the proceeds, reverse selected proceeds as we demonstrated earlier. Yes, we're sure we want to unwind. Let me pick my account so I can remove them from the account they were added to. And the system will reverse the proceeds. I can reduce the unpaid repo charges if I need to. Otherwise, if there's still an outstanding repo fee that you have to pay, you could leave that there. Next, we'll make sure the vehicle was removed from inventory. We're going to unaccelerate this account. So we'll check unaccelerate. You're going to get a warning letting you know that redeeming this is going to remove the acceleration invoice. It's going to remove bad debt tag, remove the accelerated tag, and notes receivable is going to be updated and invoices generated to reflect that it's not in bad debt status anymore. So click yes. We want to unaccelerate. And confirm that it's been unaccelerated by clicking OK. Click here the Redeem button in the Recover Redeem tab, and once the customer is paid to get the car back, click yes. And now this account you can see has been redeemed. So I just wanted to demonstrate that you can work through the entire repossession process. You can even write off a vehicle in the system, and if a mistake was made or something happens where you need to reverse the entire process, you are able to do that. You also have an Options tab at the top of the screen where you can view ledgers, create an account memo or screen note, look at the account status, add, remove, or edit tags. You can come into the credit report management option, and if you need to update the credit reporting information, you can do that during the repossession process. You can also in this options menu maintain bad debt status. So if we needed to add it to bad debt status or remove that, you can. You can unlock payments once you've assigned the repo and a customer comes in to pay or calls in a payment, you can unlock that to take the payment. You could also print repo letters, pre-posed repo letters as necessary, all from your repossession activity. Then once you're finished, you can click yes if you want to update the credit report that this has been redeemed, or no, and then you've completed the repossession process, redemption process, and we've gone through writing off and reversing a write-off in the system.